Whenever you try to control things too much, it's like telling the universe that you don't trust it. You don't trust the universe to deliver, and then it's going to say you're not ready. The number one tip I have for manifestation is putting trust in the universe, trusting that everything is going to work out. Hello and welcome back to Six Sense CEO. My name is Sam, and once again, I will be your host of this incredible show. Today, we have a topic that's been super top of mind for me because whenever I first started my business, I was so burned out all the time. I was so exhausted. I didn't know how to manage my time properly. And so that brings in the question of, is hustle culture real? Today, I want to talk about how constantly hustling and grinding almost mindlessly isn't a sustainable way to grow a business, and how really getting into alignment is going to create results for you with much less resistance. So before we get started, I want to emphasize this one key takeaway, okay? If you get anything out of this episode, let it be this. It is not cute to spend your time hustling, doing busy work that's not going to move the needle for your business. Some people like to hustle for hustle's sake, just to be busy, just to seem like they're a productive member of society, like they're just doing something just to do it. And that's what we're trying to avoid. Just because you're doing something doesn't mean you're actually being productive. You're just busy. Rather than just taking up your time with things, it's important to do things that are aligned with the life that you desire for yourself and the change you wish to create in the world. So today we're going to talk all about that, about how you can get into alignment and create a life and a business that feels good, looks good, and fulfills all your desires. So let's get into it. Oh, and by the way, if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, then head over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts as well, Spotify as well. Leave me a rating and review there. I would love to read your feedback on the show, or you can just drop me a comment on YouTube. So I don't know when hustle became a badge of honor. Like, I don't know when it became glorified to work 16-hour days and spend all your time giving your whole life to a company that would replace you tomorrow if something happened to you. Like, do you actually have such a deep connection to a corporation? Like, do you have a real connection with that mission? Or are you just keeping yourself busy so you're just doing something and you feel like you're doing something right with your life? Hustle culture glorifies the grind. Hustle culture glorifies missing sleep, working tirelessly for a mission that's not even your own, and always being on, always being available, always thinking about work instead of enjoying the other things life has to offer you. And hustle culture too has made it sound like constantly working is the only way to be successful. And that's something that was ingrained in my mind from a very young age. You need to work hard for your money. You need to work hard for your success. Work hard and you will be successful. And these things are true to an extent, but nothing is guaranteed from hustling. Only intentional action gets you where you want to go, not hustling just to hustle. And the crazy thing is, all this hustle ideology was pushed onto us by society and by the government so they can control us. Because whenever you are kind of a black sheep and you don't conform to what society wants you to be, that challenges societal norm. Society doesn't want you to be a black sheep. They want you to conform and they want you to fit in and they want you to think just like everyone else. They want you to be a regular sheep instead of the black sheep that you are. But whenever you just conform and you just kind of agree with what other people say, you lose your power because you're not thinking critically. You are not actually thinking for yourself. You're just going along with whatever's happening around you. And that is a really sad way to live life, in my opinion, because you're not really a person. You're just a shell of a person, you know? But here's the thing too. The word hustle, I don't believe is inherently bad. Whenever you're hustling for a purpose, for a mission that you truly believe in, whenever that hustle is toward something intentional, toward actions that are going to make your life better or help you achieve your purpose, that is the type of hustle we need to have in our lives. Like, I think I have gotten to a point in my business and my career where every day feels very intentional to me. I don't spend time doing things that don't matter for my business or my purpose. I spend my time working out, cooking. Sometimes I hang out with my friends. I spend time with my partner, of course, but for the most part, my days are full of things that are getting me closer to my goals. And that is how you're supposed to live. That is the way to live that's going to give you the most fulfillment as a person. I remember a time in my business where it took me 2 hours to answer emails every day. I don't want to be answering emails for 2 hours. What a time suck, right? So that was one area in my business where I was out of alignment because I was like, gosh, I have to go through my inbox again. And like, I understand email is an important form of communication. I still answer a bunch of emails every day, but it doesn't take me 2 hours, you know? Or there have been times in my business, especially at the beginning before I hired on a team, where I was really doing everything myself. Like I was doing the email marketing, the WordPress, the social media management, the copywriting, the accounting, which like I'm not an accounting expert even, but I was doing all of that. And that made me feel like I wasn't in alignment because I was constantly split between all these different things and it was impossible to keep up with. And we'll talk more about delegation in a bit because that's an incredibly important way to get into alignment. But first, let's really define what this alignment term means. When I say the word alignment, I mean when you are taking intentional action and spending your time doing things that bring you closer to your big picture goals, your purpose, your mission in life, right? These are really big concepts, but alignment is a powerful thing because when you wake up every day excited to get to work, excited to spend your day doing things that fulfill you, that is such an empowering feeling. I don't wake up and say, oh, I don't want to work today. I don't feel that way because I'm in alignment with my business, with my career, with the things that I'm doing with my life. And I get energy from that. I can work a 12-hour day, no problem, because my work energizes me. It doesn't drain me. It makes me happy to work. And that is because I have not succumbed to hustle culture. Hustle culture tells you to work for no purpose, but getting into alignment tells you to work for your purpose. Like me recording this podcast right now, getting this message across to you is important to me because this is something I'm very passionate about, if you can't tell. So this type of work energizes me. It makes me happy to do this. It makes me feel fulfilled to give you this wisdom. And let's talk about burnout for a second. So burnout is something that I feel like is an overused term. People always say, oh, I'm so burned out, I'm so exhausted. But in reality, burnout is simply lack of alignment. Because again, I can wake up and work 12 hours, no problem. I'm happy to do it because I'm in alignment with my work. If I was spending my day doing things like digging holes or doing tons of paperwork or doing things that would just bore me to death, I would feel really burned out because I'm not doing things that are stimulating my brain, that are making me feel fulfilled, you know? I feel like if I was doing that, I'd be spending my days doing things that are not making a difference in the world. And I hate that. And that's why so many people are stuck in jobs that they hate, that don't fulfill them, even really high paying jobs. You would be surprised at the number of people who work in corporate, who go to work and feel like the work they're doing does not make a difference at all. And I know that's not true of everybody, so before you come at me, I know there's tons of people who like their corporate jobs, but one thing I love about having my own business and working with small business clients is I know the work I'm doing is making a real difference for a human being, you know? And that is powerful. That is alignment right there. And when you're out of alignment, it really leads to burnout, resentment, frustration, these really negative, low vibe emotions. We talked about vibration in our last episode, but those things are very low vibe. I always say it's like on a hamster wheel. You are spinning, spinning, spinning. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you're spinning, 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 but not getting anywhere, right? And that's why I'll always be an entrepreneur at heart, because as an entrepreneur, you define your path, you define your purpose, you define what you do during the day pretty much. And I will always strive to serve people who have small businesses, who are building things for themselves and for their communities and trying to serve other people rather than just cashing a check and moving on. That's what I'm passionate about. But moving on to the next topic, another thing that can create lack of alignment is simply not having systems or processes in place. Now, when I say system, I mean like a process that is repeatable over and over again to get the same result. So a system, for example, let's say you're a social media manager. Your system would be a content creation system. So you come up with the idea, you write the copy, you film the video, you edit the video, you put it all together, submit to the client for approval, client approves it, you schedule it. That's your system. And by making that a repeatable process, then you can organize yourself better because you always know what's coming next. You always know what the next step in the process is. But what if you didn't have that system? What if some days you wrote the caption first and some days you did the design first? Then your whole system's out of order. And maybe some people work that way, but when you think about it from a scalability perspective, it doesn't make sense. You need to have a clear system from start to finish so you can organize yourself. And then when you bring on another team member, you can explain to them, this is how it's done. And then you can hand it off to them and trust that it will get done the right way. Whereas if you just kind of let it go willy-nilly and you hire someone to help you and you don't have that system, they're going to have their own process, their own way of doing it that may or may not be as organized as what you do. So that's why it's important when you're scaling your business to have very clearly defined systems and processes so you can hand it off to somebody, they'll get it done, and your business doesn't totally fall apart. And on the topic of delegation, you should always delegate tasks that you don't enjoy, that don't fulfill you, that you're maybe not as good at. And there are ways to do this for a low cost these days. I know AI is very controversial, but the truth is you can almost treat ChatGPT like a human who's helping you, especially the new model that just got rolled out to the public. It's called O1. That thing is smart. That thing is insanely smart. You can ask it to do pretty much anything for you. So leverage that. I pay $20 a month for my ChatGPT subscription. It is 100% worth it. Saves me so much time day to day with various tasks. And also, if you haven't checked out the ChatGPT for manifestation video I did a while back, or I guess, yeah, it was a podcast episode. If you haven't watched that episode and you're interested in manifestation, highly recommend. It's very cool. But if you don't want to use AI or you have tasks that really require human expertise, you could always hire a virtual assistant or somebody to help you. There are virtual assistants who specialize in anything. I have one who's phenomenal. Actually, I have more than one right now. But the point is, you can always hire people or delegate to AI bots things that you don't enjoy, that don't fulfill you, and that can help you get even more into alignment. In today's day and age, there's no reason to not be in alignment. You have resources at your fingertips to help you make your life easier, so use them. So I have a few journal prompts for you to look at if you want to get into alignment or really want to get out of this hustle mindset that you've been stuck in. The first one is, what tasks in your day drain your energy? And how can you delegate or automate these tasks to free up your time for what truly matters? So for this, you'll want to do what's called an energy audit, where you write a list of your tasks and then you rank it from 1 to 5, 1 being horrible, drain my energy completely, 5 being yes, I love this. And then once you truly audit these tasks from an energetic perspective, you can figure out which ones you need to delegate in order to keep the vibes high all day long. And I know from experience this works, because let me tell you, it's 4 p.m. I've been going 8 hours already. I'm still ready to keep it rolling. And of course, I'm a human, so not every day is like this, but I have noticed a serious uptick in my energy levels as soon as I started delegating the tasks I don't like. All right. Next prompt is, if you're stuck in a service-based model that trades time for money, think about how you can diversify your income. So could you create digital products, courses, memberships? And I want to unpack this one a little bit. There's nothing wrong with having a service-based business. That is what I did for almost 4 years with my content agency. But whenever you have a service-based business, basically the client is paying you for a certain number of deliverables each month or a certain number of hours of your time. And when you're doing that, basically, in order to scale up, you need to continue to hire more people or automate more tasks in order to become more efficient while still delivering a high quality product to the client. So what that means is it's more like trading time for money versus creating a one-to-many offer that you can scale. And this is what I've done in my own business in creating my GLADIATOR membership, which is an online community with support from me where we're working on growing our businesses, especially service-based businesses. That's what I'm teaching on, since that's what I did for so many years. But basically, people sign up, and I invite you to sign up as well. And you get mentorship from me in the form of training calls, additional challenges throughout the month, trainings, a live Q&A call every month, and daily support from me inside the actual member portal. Now, the reason this works is because it's a one-to-many offer. So I can service a lot of people at once for a relatively low price compared to one-to-one mentorship. And it's another way that I'm looking to serve more people and scale my business at the same time. So you could do something like that. And of course, you could sell courses, you could sell digital products like webinars, PDF guides, checklists. I mean, there's tons of things you can sell online nowadays. And I highly recommend diversifying your product suite, meaning the different offers you have, and creating multiple streams of income in your business, especially if you're service-based and you're kind of in this trading time for money model. And since I've shifted more of my focus toward my membership model, it's helped me provide more value to people without burning myself out. I absolutely love it. Highly recommend you do that if you're an entrepreneur and you're really looking to scale in a sustainable way. And finally, one aspect of alignment is really embracing ease and flow. So instead of putting so much pressure on timelines or exactly how something's going to happen, just be open to the opportunities that come into your life, into your business. And this is just foundational manifestation advice too, because whenever you try to control things too much, it's like telling the universe that you don't trust it. You don't trust the universe to deliver, and then it's going to say you're not ready. The number one tip I have for manifestation is putting trust in the universe, trusting that everything is going to work out. So keep that in mind. So I just want to recap what we discussed today. To get more into alignment, you want to automate and also delegate. So for automation, like I said, I use ChatGPT. I also use Zapier to automate specific tasks within my business and my membership. I also delegate some of my work to virtual assistants and other contractors I work with. It honestly feels weird calling them that because they're like my team, you know? They're more than just contractors and virtual assistants. I absolutely love my team. They're the best of the best, I swear. And also overcome limiting beliefs. You don't have to do it all yourself. For a long time, I was stuck believing that I was the only person who could do things right, which sounds conceited when you say it like that, because it kind of is. But whenever I learned to trust other people to do their job and help coach people into learning how I want things to be done, that's really empowering because then my time is freed up. I've collaborated with someone who's gained something from the experience of working with me, and it's just a win-win for everybody. And also, there's something to say too about being flexible and letting people do things their own way. Whenever you try to control too much and say, this is the exact way to do things, and you're not open to other people's feedback, that can kind of stunt the growth of your organization because you're only relying on your own mind to make things work. But the beauty of working with other people is you get their brains too. You get the value of working with somebody else and tapping into their ideas and their wisdom and their expertise, right? The truth is that successful CEOs, they focus on their zone of genius and they let other people handle the rest. Everyone has their own zone of genius, and we talked about this in one of the very first podcast episodes on this show. But stay in your zone of genius, trust other people to stay in theirs, and that's how you'll scale. So remember, hustle culture is bad. Hustling itself is not. Especially if it's in alignment with the life you're creating for yourself. There is so much beauty in building momentum through intentional, focused action. And that's what I meant when I said I could work 12 hours a day, no problem, because I'm in alignment. I'm doing the things that make me happy. I'm in my zone of genius every day. So focus on doing what you love, delegate what you don't, and focus on creating systems that truly support your goals, personal and business goals. If you're looking to start and grow your freelance business, I highly recommend you join the GLADIATOR membership. We have an amazing community of people already in there, and we do new trainings every single month to help you grow your business without losing your mind. So we do things like a few of the trainings we have inside focus on branding yourself as a thought leader, getting clients on Upwork, building your own proprietary framework for delivering your service so you really stand out in your industry. Our upcoming trainings are around selling without being too salesy, or I should say selling confidently. I don't really believe there is such a thing as salesy. Whenever you are selling, you're providing value, and that's that. We also have one on how to beat imposter syndrome. This is a huge one I struggled with when I was first starting my business, and I can't wait to share my insights into that. And we have a bunch more too. So if you have any questions about the membership or anything I discussed today, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram at Samantha Lee Warren. I would love to chat with you and hear more about your business goals. And remember, you can get into Globe Gladiator for $29 a month with the code ENERGY at checkout. I will leave the link below in the show notes or the YouTube description. And that's pretty much it. I say this every episode, but if you love this episode, then share your favorite moment from it and tag me in your Instagram story. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on what we discussed today. All right, my love, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.